I'm Shannon McVeigh, and you are watching Dichotomy with Shannon. Today, we have an interesting guest that I cannot wait to pick her brain. Do you know what the Kiro elders are? No, me neither. Let's learn together. She is someone who's mastered both ancient shamanic wisdom and cutting edge quantum practices. She's a published author, an entrepreneur, and the creator of soul frequency freedom training and quantum rememory. Welcome, Rebecca Keating. You showed up in my algorithm, and I'm so glad. Can we just get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so you practice shamanism. What
Yes.
is that?
So shamanic work is really, in a quick summary, it's like shamans see the unseen world. So they work with energy, they work in the unseen realms with the darker side of the world, not always. And it's also about being with the natural world, being with like the elements and nature and working with the natural world, and also being able to sort of traverse these other worlds and bring healing and do healing work in the other realms.
Are the other realms like, are you talking quantum physics or what are they?
It's like quantum healing type work. Yes, I also like sometimes will, because I do quantum healing and it overlaps, but it can be a little bit different. It's a bit more of a modern turn, I guess you could say. It's very similar. We do similar things like soul retrieval and things like that. So, but my background is, for many, about 15 years now, has been in shamanic, like training with shamans and different lineages and doing work in that sense.
Just have to ask, because if it's other worlds and then there were some dark worlds, does that mean alien or is it demonic, or are there aliens?
You know what? I've always believed in aliens since I was like a teenager. I've had that belief. I do believe in aliens. It can be demonics, it can be entities, it can be astral creatures and parasitic things. It can also be AI as well. It can be, there's many different beings among us as we walk, but also in the invisible world, and spirits too.
There seems to be such a trend right now that everybody's waking up. The awakening, the new earth, the new world is coming. Because let me just tell you a little of my background. My last show was very heavy conspiracy theory, and we had so many people on our show opening our eyes. They talk about the underground world, reptilians, darkness, but it's almost like the consciousness is rising. So do you feel like we are saying goodbye to what we once knew, which was more of a authoritative, like, control us, here's all my power, I'm going to outsource to you? Or do you feel like we're still going to be struggling with that? Is there really any such thing as the new earth?
I think the new earth is here. I think it's a frequency that we embody, like that we can already be in. So it is shifting. The consciousness is definitely changing. I do feel that people are waking up. Some of my recent posts have showed me that there's still a lot of people that have not woken up yet. but they're coming. Even planting seeds and even giving someone a trigger is okay.
Yeah.
I think that we also have to be very aware of the sort of rise in this spirituality that's very sort of glamorized, and almost, it's not like authentic, it's not pure. So there's this rise in spirituality that's, like, we're going to Bali. I'm not saying going to Bali is a bad thing or doing all these, but it's almost becoming like a spiritual tourism, doing a million plant medicine ceremonies. It's good that people are becoming more conscious and sort of waking up and being more aware, but then it's also becoming like a trend. And is it really about healing, or is it about being on trend?
That's such a good observation. I am kind of new into the plant-based medicine. I know a lot of people do that. A lot of my mentors do that. I was actually invited to Bali to do those things, and I'm afraid of that, because I feel like that would be a door opening for entities that
Yes.
that I wouldn't want.
Yeah. And that's what I see in my work, is that a lot of people, I mean, there's a dark side that most people don't want to admit or talk about, which I have experienced and seen personally. Not everyone is meant to do that. Some portals are never meant to be open, and you do open yourself up to a lot of interference and stuff.
Do you believe that when you are on, like, let's just say something easy like mushrooms, that really, like, some people that I've talked to that have done it, they really truly believe that they know what happens after death? and that they felt God and they felt it's an energetic thing. Do you believe that to be true, or could that have been something messing with them?
Yeah. See, it's really tricky because the plant medicines can really be tricky, and a lot of they can also alter a person's timeline. So it can actually feel like this sense of bliss, and it can feel like this heightened experience. And I'm not saying that it's not, but it can be very tricky. The medicines can put people into like real delusions where think they've ascended and it's not reality. People will say, well, I healed my trauma, and I have
Right.
witnessed that myself. I can't deny that. You can't deny that. But the set and setting is really important, and a lot of the issues with the plant medicine world is that it becomes a lifestyle. This is not a lifestyle, you
Right.
know. So it's tricky, and it can be very deceptive. The medicines can be deceptive.
When you take a client, I'm assuming you take them on a healing journey.
Yes.
So what does that look like if you're not introducing? Because a lot of the people that I've seen, they introduce the plant medicine to their clients. So what does it look like for you?
So for me, it's more about embodiment work. It's not like I did the plant medicine thing, I'll be honest. And I feel I did that because I had to learn and see what it is, to know that it's something external that might upset people, but it's something external that really takes our power away, because we can get the same result that's going to be lasting and embodied if we do it without any sort of external medicine or anything. So my work is really about actually going in and finding sort of the root cause of these things and bringing them into conscious awareness with the client if that is needed. It's not always needed, but going to the root and working in the, it's usually in the timeline, it's usually the quantum, that I go and find that, and then we track that, and that's either bringing back soul pieces or doing timeline repair. And what I find is that when I do that work with the client, it ripples through their field and it's lasting. And I empower my clients and I teach them how to do this work for themselves. Like I just had a client message me yesterday. We've probably done 5 sessions, but I mean, this woman was being attacked by, I would say, reptilians and other entities for 7 years straight. And she worked with many shamans. She did all kinds of things. And she was traumatized. I get a lot of
Mm.
clients like this. They're literally traumatized because they're not sleeping. She messaged me and she was like, I am so empowered now. I know how to do this myself. Like I can literally go into my own energy. I can literally track something, find it, clear it, and have the authority to do it because you taught me that. She sent me that in a voice
That's
message. I was like,
amazing.
thank you.
Because
Yeah.
you're right about that. Side note about her working with other shamans, don't you think you have to really use discernment, because not everybody's intention is good. So if a client wanted to look for somebody that's going to help them break free, what kind of questions should they ask that person to make sure it's a good energy field? I feel like you need to be so careful even with Reiki, whoever is doing
Yes.
that over you.
Definitely. Yeah. And what I'm finding is, I mean, I don't want to bash anyone else's
Yeah.
work or anything, but there are so many charlatans. Like people come on and call me a charlatan all the time. And I understand because there's so many out there.
What is a charlatan?
Like they're just people who they say they can do this, but they can't. I know of particular people who charge like $20,000 for what I do. And it's a money grab, and it's actually preying on people who are desperate for
Yeah.
actual healing. So there's a lot of that, and that's part of the issue. So people have to, I think they just need to be super discerning. I mean, frequency people can feel. I in this day and age, but then I think there's so many people that actually don't see it. So they sometimes we have to learn the hard lessons. I see people with massive followings and they are ripping off other people's work. They are not genuine. They're using chat GPT to write
Mm.
all of their content. And I'm like, when you're in this world, when you're a shaman and or you're a healer, yeah, you use it as a tool for certain things, but like to get it to write all, like you're not writing your own. So is that even you? I'm
Mm.
asking. Like, so chat GPT, like that's a red flag for me. I'm not saying don't use it, but if people are doing that particular work, and I can tell right away if they're writing their content or not.
Yes.
That's a
Yeah.
red flag for me. It's fine for certain ideas and running grammar and things
If
like
you need
that.
it for like SEO for your website, which I know nothing about, that's
Yeah.
like SEO, act as a marketing expert because I
And
am
it depends.
not.
Like, it depends on what you're writing. When you're sharing your work, your soul work for spiritual healing, like that is, it's not genuine, it's not authentic.
That's why I
So,
think that AI will never touch people like us because it can't.
yes,
It cannot.
yes.
We're doing this off the cuff, right? You can't AI that. You can't say, what should my answer be? Or what should my question be? I can't ask chat that,
We didn't
So
even
it has
talk about anything before, like nothing, which I
nothing. We,
love.
you don't even know each other.
We don't even know each other.
We just got right into it. I didn't even lube you up. I just rammed it in there.
Nothing.
Oh my God, that's our Shannon. So you had said something that really shook me, and I cannot wait to get into it. You did a video saying that don't go into the light.
Yes.
So when somebody's dying, you hear all these people with these near-death experiences, and they
Yeah.
say, go into the light, go to the light. Why are you saying don't go into the light?
So glad you asked this question. And so this came from, I'll give a backstory because where did this come from? My original shamanic teacher, which was like 15 years ago, in 2010, was when I first met him and worked with him for several years. He was talking about in 2010, and he had already been talking about this stuff for decades, everything that would happen in 2020, everything that was going to happen, who was the one doing it, what was the world was going to go through. So he knew a lot. He taught me about the false light and all the spiritual stuff back then that I talk about now. And he also shared this with me at that point about how the astral realm, which is where people go when they have near death experience and when they die. And of course, we don't know the whole picture because, well, we have died, but
Mhm.
unless we have the full memory. But when we go into the astral realm, basically how they continue to recycle us and get us to continue to reincarnate on this planet is by this false truth that they share that we need to go to the light. So when people cross over, and this has been, people who have had near death experiences have also reported this, that they're met by their angels and their guides and all their family members, and they're like encouraging them to go to the light. When they go to the light, that's the reincarnation trap that brings people back into earth. We're not supposed to keep coming back over and over again.
That sounds terrifying, honestly.
But I also think the going to the light is a new age thing. As we become more conscious, if you think we are in a war over our consciousness for a reason, when we become conscious of what's actually happening in our reality and what the nature of our soul bodies and everything that's going on, our extensions of our body, our soul, when we die consciously,
Mhm.
we can't be tricked because we already know. But whatever we believe, we're going to see in the afterlife. So if we believe in Jesus, if we believe in heaven or hell, we're going to experience exactly what we believe. If we know and believe that this is the astral thing and there's going to be trickery trying to get us when we go over there, we're going to be like, sorry, but I'm not coming back. Thank
No.
you.
No. Do you want to come back?
No, not
Me
here.
neither. Me neither. So if there are aliens, maybe we're from the same alien planet because
I
I
hope
don't
so.
want to come
Yeah.
back at all. Like, I think
No.
this place is traumatizing.
Yes, we've had enough.
Yeah. So if we don't reincarnate to this earth, do you believe we go into a higher realm?
Yes, yeah, I do. I do. So I believe that we can choose to actually even go and create our own, like with the extension of our soul body, we can create our own worlds. We're creator beings. This is a creator world. And we go and we keep creating, like it's eternal. We're eternal in that sense. And we're not supposed to be bound in this dimension here. People call it a prison planet, and it's kind of true. We're in a frequency net that's keeping us here, and that is not organic to us.
Growing up, especially growing up in the church, you are taught like money is the root of all evil, money is bad, materialism is bad. But what if we're here to experience the materialism of this world?
I think we're here to live life and enjoy all facets of life, and that involves like if you want to get your hair and wear nice
Yeah.
clothing and you want to have a nice car, if I don't see any shame in that, I don't see any shame in in learning how to be financially independent or financially free. I always look at business like the most personal growth that you'll ever get is by having a business. So,
Yeah.
and if that makes you a lot of money, well, that's not a bad thing.
A lot of my audience members and the people that write into me, because they're like me, right? I feel like attracts like. So it's the people that basically probably I was 5 years ago, self-sabotage, not being able to know our worth. Do you have any tricks on how to shift your energy and maybe quantum leap immediately to start attracting that abundant life? And I'm not just talking about money. Is there any tricks that we can do today to kind of quantum leap into that?
Yeah. And I'm part of what I teach and share is about the self sabotage and the limiting beliefs. And most people don't move past that. They don't move past that because it comes, the more you set a goal for yourself, it comes on even stronger. All your own stuff comes up and you have to move
Yes.
through it. So the way I like to think of it is like in terms of frequency as well, because frequency is everything, and we have to shift our frequency to a higher level so we can actually kind of move past those things. So I will work with embodiment practices, and another thing that I teach is prayer, because
Yes.
prayer is what is going to give us what we are asking for, and
Yeah.
not praying from lack, not praying from like, oh, I can't, get rid of this limiting belief, but really commanding it actually to be so, because when you command your reality, it happens. I've had moments very recently where I literally commanded, I am done with this pattern. I
Mm-hmm.
am done with it. And I actually went and baptized myself in the river,
Oh my
commanded that this
gosh.
was out of my field, and I went viral the very next day. Actually, no, I
Wow.
went viral the same day
That
I
is
went viral the first
incredible.
time.
Did you
Yeah,
baptize yourself in the name of Jesus?
I didn't.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't. I mean, and I love Jesus. I do. I love Jesus. My mom was Christian. My dad was Catholic. I grew up in a very religious family. I love Jesus and I love Christ and God. And my work is all done through God. I will find myself reciting scripture. I don't know where it came from. I have no idea. I found out when I was in the womb. I asked my mom not too long ago. I think this is a really important question to ask our mother when we prepare her properly, what she was doing while we were in the womb.
Yes.
And I found out that she's like, I was a born again Christian. I was with your Auntie Carrie going to church and praying and studying the Bible the whole entire pregnancy. So I
Wow.
was like, well, maybe that's where I just start coming up with these like scriptures. And I don't follow, like, people have come on to me and said I need to this and that with Jesus. Like, even just yesterday, a girl was blowing up my Instagram, and I was like, I have a relationship with Jesus. I
Yeah.
love Jesus, and feel so connected. But I can't say that I'm I don't know if this is the right word, unorthodox,
Yeah,
or
I think that a lot of people are so afraid. And so what they do, it's misery loves company, and they're going to pull you down because if they see you in freedom, that's going to
yeah,
intimidate them. But this
yeah,
is my whole thing is neuroscience in the Bible, universal law in the Bible. It's all in there. Like even Philippians 4, keep your thoughts on things that are good and pure and holy. So keep your thoughts
yes,
on things that are good instead of going down these dark roads. When I was on that conspiracy theorist show, Rebecca, I was so depressed. I was coming home. I was crying. I was praying for the world. I was on my knees praying. I literally could not move my head. I had to leave the show. It was so bad for my health. And you want to be aware, but you also need to create your reality, and you can't stay in that negative space.
yeah, I
It's just,
agree.
but I think a lot of people, especially under the name of Christianity, they're going to attack you. So it's interesting how we're parallel. Like you're being attacked by Christians, I'm being attacked by Christians, and we just probably just want to teach people to love.
Yes,
Like
yes,
go out and love
yeah.
yourselves and others.
And new age people are attacking me. So I was thinking yesterday, I'm like, I am doing something right, because
That
I'm
is
getting
right.
attacked by Christians and new
Yes.
age people.
Yeah. Yes, you're a trailblazer. I saw in your bio, and I want to know what this is, and I'm probably gonna butcher the name, the Kiro Elders.
Oh, the Quero. So yeah, the Cuero are the shamans of the Andes Mountains. So in Peru, there's, the jungle shamans, and then there's the Andean mountain shamans. That there's the Cuero, and I've studied with them, and I've been there several times, worked with them, and been taught by some great masters that live there. And it's just incredible because they work with energy. That's it. They work with the mountains, the apus. They work with energy, and their whole main premise is called Aini, or reciprocity. So it's all about, it's like for you today, tomorrow for me. So it's all about giving and then receiving. And
Okay.
I love their work. It's amazing.
Does that ever get dangerous for you? Because coming from the Christian background, there's a Bible verse that says, other people's feelings are more important than your own. And I did that to my own detriment, where my needs were chronically unmet and I was very depressed, and I have stress-induced vitiligo on my face now. Like, okay. So is there ever a time where that isn't going to serve you?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like we have to have boundaries. I'm very compassionate, but I'm also ruthless. Like,
Good.
there's a side of me that
Dichotomy.
will not tolerate BS. Like,
Yes. That's good.
so yeah,
How long did you study, did you say, for?
with them.
With you, just this whole, like, you seem so awake and so aware. So when did this start? Because you also look very young.
I think I look younger than I am.
Okay.
Am I allowed to say my age? Does that matter?
You can do whatever you want.
I'm
People
I'm
watch on
turning
YouTube.
46. I'm turning 46
You are
in
gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you. So I know, I think people always kind of think that I'm younger, and then they just don't take me seriously. Um, I used to be a registered nurse, and when I was in nursing school, I started going down the energy healing and shamanic path because of my own trauma. And
Okay.
because of that, so it was like my first year in nursing school, I remember going, I'm in the wrong profession. Like, I knew I was going to do what I do now. I always knew, like, it was just a knowing, I'm in the wrong profession. I still nursed for 10 years and I still had a great career, but then it's been over 10 years now that I have been fully doing my own, like,
Yeah.
running my own business.
And you're still a healer. How cool is that?
Yes.
That's amazing, actually.
Yes.
Well, how can people find you to work with you? And I want to go to one of your retreats, because that's eventually what I'm going to do. I have this sip and sanctification. If you ever want to learn about the Bible and the universal laws, you got to come to that. But I want to do the retreat with you. I think that you can show me and teach me so much. So how can we go on these with you?
The best place to find me is RebeccaKeating.com, or find me on my Instagram, Rebecca Keating. And I kind of took this year off of doing a lot of the ceremonial and retreat work that I had been doing. But next year, I'm going to be doing more. Like, I need to travel again. I usually go to Peru every time this year, and this year I'm not. So I'm planning a few trips for, I guess, 2026.
That's amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Because you know what? I just got my passport. I've never left America.
Oh.
I have been, talk about a woman clearing from bondage. I have been like this my entire life. And after my sister died, I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah.
It's time to live.
I find that, like, that when people pass away, I've lost my two brothers and my father.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so grief has been a very big part of my journey. And I'm okay to say it. Like, I mean, I think it's important to talk about loss and grief, because it is something that everyone will experience if they already haven't. But what I found with death and loss is it changes you, and you want to start living your life, because you're like, I'm only here for I don't know how long.
I know.
And that's what actually kickstarted me to leave my nursing career, is that my brother passed away, and I was like, I'm doing the things I want to do in life.
Well, I love that you had the conversation with me. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on Dichotomy with Shannon. Thank you guys so much for being a part of today's show. And remember, if you want to work one-on-one with me, you go to True Self Revolution. You can download all of my modules there to help you break free from the chains and the bondage that has held you back and the masks that you had to wear. You can also join my Sip and Sanctification, where it gets biblical, and it is designed to give you the tools to live out your birthright in true abundance, walking in freedom every single day. Thank you guys so much for being a part of Dichotomy with Shannon, and I'll see you on the next one.